Hello and welcome to Taiwan Talks. I'm Inka Vat. From May 20th, Taiwan has been facing a range of intensifying coercion from Beijing, diplomatic, economic and military. As a result, Taiwan's largest military exercises will dispense with a long-standing policy of rehearsals for public consumption, instead focusing on pure combat situations. That's why Taiwan Talks is here today at the Institute of National Defense and Security Research. We want to hear from their experts, their assessment of Taiwan's security situation. Come with me to find out. Now I'm joined by Chen Ming-chi,
Welcome.
CEO of INDSR. Thank you so much. Thank you. So CEO, tell me, what is the role of INDSR?
Our main mission is to provide a policy analysis to the MND and also to engage in the strategic communication with our like-minded partners. So we fit in the policy, we make a different suggestion, and we also was commissioned by the MND to do some research. For example, the advanced concept of war fighting, how to incorporate AI, to incorporate the modern technology into the battleground situation.
And did you have input into this year's Han Kuang?
We do have several of my colleagues will observe closely the Han Kuang. They were invited as part of Han Kuang and provide our assessment to the MND so that they can do a better job next year. This is the old building of the first was used as the commanding headquarters of the Japanese occupation military, and then serve as the headquarters of our MND, the Ministry of National Defense. It's a very historic building, so a lot of stories.
Okay.
This is our war room.
Right, the war room.
So allow me to introduce that traditionally, before you fight any war, you have to prepare. You have to think about the scenario. So this is the war game all about. Allow me to introduce my colleague, Colonel Du.
I'm retired Marine Colonel. I'm working for the war room, INDSR war room. So we designed a 3-wave assault from the mainland China. First assault is the ballistic missiles, and second wave, mainly they are using UAVs, and the third wave is that they are continue and following assault.
We use this system to train the commander. So we set up a scenario like 3-wave of attack and what kind of weapon they choose and how do you respond to that kind of threat. So this is about the commander who decided what to use and where you judge where will they land their missile and how do you respond to that. And we will calculate the possibility of a successful interception. So China launched a first wave of attack with the missile, and this is our position. Okay, so they launched successfully in the North Taiwan, and we decided to intercept.
Is this in real time?
Not really in real time. I say it's 60 times faster.
Okay.
Not, it takes about 20 minutes for the missile to attack from hinterland.
So tell me, at the moment, who has got the advantage?
You have to see until the end. This time I remember correctly that we suffer a very heavy casualty, but we will be successfully withstand their first 3-wave of attack.
The result is to determine which course of action is better than the others. And also we want to see if there are any shortfalls for our air defense where we can improve.
For example, is that a good idea to preserve our essay in the eastern part of Taiwan? So you can see that first is we move our fighter jet to the east. So it's current thinking, but you can see that they have to come out to meet the challenge in the air. So because there is a second wave and the third wave. So you can set a scenario, different scenario, saying like they have the same 3-wave of attack, but we don't transfer those airplanes to the east, and we directly send them to the air.
So you mentioned commanders would use this software to train up. How many have so far used it?
Let me put it this way. We do cooperate with MND and train some of our officers on this scenario. And the one particular advantage of our system is visualize. And I think you can see that on the screen. It's easier for the commander to visualize the theater situation.
All right, that's
Thank you.
great. Thank you. And now we're joined by General Lee Ting-sheng,
Yeah,
Deputy
welcome.
CEO.
Welcome,
of the
welcome,
INDSR.
welcome
Thank
to
you.
INDSR.
Thank you very much.
Have a seat, please.
Thank you. So, General Lee,
Yeah.
how serious would you say the situation in the Taiwan Strait is compared to before May 20th?
I will show these two maps for you. First one, your right side, this one is the so important Taiwan here. You can see this one is the first island chain. This is South Korea, Japan, and Okinawa, and Taiwan, and Philippines. And this one is the South China Sea. Taiwan is located in the center. So we control two very important channels. It's the Miyago Channel and Pacific Channel. And north of the Luzon is the Patidang Channel. So this map will show you this is how important Taiwan geopolitical. But another one I will show you from 1996 POA joint exercise to 2024. From 2026, their exercise area is here, and this one live show. And 2022, Nancy Pelosi visit Taiwan. POA launched a missile exercise in this area. And this one is 23, a joint assault. They have around Taiwan. And this is the 24. They also have this area included Offsea Island, Kinmen and Matsu, their joint exercise. This show, you can see this is from the 1996 to 2024. Different color is represent different area. And this is the live show, they shoot the missile here, and include to the EEZ of the Japan. And this one, they have the 12 different DDG around Taiwan. This is very serious. This is 24, they were around Taiwan, include aircraft and DDG and warship.
So DDG
Is the destroyer, the warship here around Taiwan.
So is this from May 20th?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if they blockade or continue to threat Taiwan, so not only contingencies in Taiwan, but also other country contingencies. So this is, I show you this map for you to, you maybe understand these two maps. This is the same. This is the, we show this one, and this is weird, and include there the CV, Shandong carrier in this area. But in 24, they also in blockade here and around here. They're also in this area.
So you're saying it's not just getting worse for Taiwan, but also all of these countries in the first island chain and beyond?
Due to in Taiwan Strait and South China Sea is very important, the cargo, commercial cargo.
You talked about the tightening of the area or the space around Taiwan.
Yes.
What does that mean in terms of response times should there actually be an attack as opposed to just an incursion?
Maybe they are joint exercise here around Taiwan, but they are maybe the 24 mile away, not into the 24 mile. But if they training in this area, maybe they immediately transit to the war. So we call the 1 second transit from the exercise training and to the war. So we should very serious to see the situation now, include other countries, Japan, Philippines, also very monitor the situation.
And what does it mean for potential mistakes which could lead to escalation?
So mutual and every country, include this first island chain country, include Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, should be very clear message delivery. Otherwise, misunderstanding will not only conflict, will cause the war. So very clear, tell you this is my line. This is your line. Don't cross my line. This is very important to tell each others. So if everybody follow, this is the rule, will not have any conflict or the war.
And so you talked about the 24 nautical miles, that's the edge of the contiguous
yes.
zone.
Yeah.
So, and another 12 nautical miles becomes
Your
Taiwan's
territory.
actually territory.
Your territory,
Yeah.
your airspace.
Yeah. So in terms of those incursions now,
24 mile.
how many seconds would it take them to come to the 12 nautical
Different
miles?
if you buy the jet and by the ship, it's different. Maybe you are the fighter, maybe 2 seconds. you will to there.
So that's
2
not,
minutes will to the 12 mile because you have the 500-mile nautical mile flight to the 12 mile.
so that's no notice at all for
no,
Taiwan.
too.
You said that Taiwan is prepared, but China is doing this on a near daily basis. So what does it happen to Taiwan's resources if it's constantly in a state of preparedness?
From Taiwan to against the PRC and PLA almost 80 years. We prepare almost 80 years from our the military and all our the Taiwan, all the government and all society. We prepare all. So we call this is a kind of the total defense. So another one is the different than the 80 years ago is the technology change. We are Taiwan, we also the couple years we develop our the tactics include four. One is the precise missile development. Second is we are mobile. Another one asymmetric. So these three is that we try to continue develop and enhance our Taiwan defense capability. Taiwan Strait, almost 150 kilometers away. So if you want to cross the Taiwan Strait, it's not so easy. And now the technology is the precise. And Taiwan is the good technology and develop our very precise missile.
So given this is the former Japanese commander's room, it's appropriate for us to be discussing the current situation for Taiwan's security. Now, Professor Chen, in the recent Track 2 nuclear talks between the US and China, the Chinese side apparently said that they would not resort to nuclear weapons if they contemplated defeat. And the reason for this, they said, is because they could use conventional forces to take Taiwan. What does this mean for you, those statements?
We can put it another way. Either way, it's very difficult to take Taiwan. And as long as that Taiwanese people are determined and that they have the will to safeguard our democratic way of living, I don't think there will be a task easily achievable. So I think that is number one. That is so China may talk a lot about this or that, and in the Taiwan theater, the nuclear option is very difficult. Probably at the tactic level, smaller warhead, that could be possible. But again, that is very dangerous for them to operate in a nuclear radiative environment.
Okay. General Lee, a recent CSIS report says that China could actually take Taiwan without firing a shot. Now, they're not talking about a blockade.
Yeah.
This time they're talking about a quarantine. Of course, that means avoiding the act of war, which a blockade is. So, and in the report, they call it law enforcement that's implemented by the Coast Guard. So how can Taiwan prepare for this, and would it be different to preparing for a blockade?
In Taiwan, it's not so easy, especially the logistics and the weather. So Taiwan, the military and Navy and Coast Guard, we prepare to continue to against land into our 24-mile away. This is very important. But they also try to blockade, try to cut our external, the transportation, gas and oil.
So let me add on that. First, the blockade is a state against state. So by imposing a naval blockade over Taiwan, they sort of indirectly declare Taiwan as a sovereign country, which they will not allow. However, they are seeing Taiwan as an internal issue, so they probably will use more of the law enforcement that quarantine. But no matter what, in whichever scenario, I think they will mix the naval elements with the Coast Guard element in these both scenarios. And we got to be prepared. So I think there are several dimensions to boost our resilience. Yeah. So stockpiling food, stockpiling energy, stockpiling fuel, stockpiling all medicine necessary. That is the number one issue.
Yes.
Second is to booster our Coast Guard capability. I think they are pretty experienced in encountering any danger contingency on the sea. So I think that is good enough for Taiwan to meet any challenge at the sea. Third part is about the coalition building. I think to the north, we probably have to cooperate with Japanese Coast Guard, and to the south, we have to team up with the Philippines Coast Guard. And luckily, I think in both directions, we are making some progress. We have a very good strategic communication with Japan, with Philippines, with United States.
In the Philippine situation, maybe General Lee, in the Philippine situation, they are completely outnumbered, though, by Chinese Coast Guard and militia. Would Taiwan be any different?
At our Taiwan, the Coast Guard is very experienced. So due to Taiwan is the ocean state, we fully understand how to do that during these contingencies. We understand, and our Coast Guard continue to grow, and they grew a lot of the vessel to continue to conduct against the Chinese, the Malaysia Coast Guard, and maybe Navy around Taiwan. This is the reason we build our force, include the Coast Guard. One more is just like the air blockade. You know, it blockade not only the sea, also in the air. So blockade is the influence a lot of the commercial cargo.
It's not only about Taiwan, it's international. More than 80% of our larger cargo ship have to transit through the Taiwan Strait. So I think this is a global issue. If they want to impose any quarantine or blockade, that means they are going to take action against all major global economies.
And that was one of the points that the CSIS authors mention, which is that the success will depend on whether other nations actually comply with this so-called law enforcement.
Very important dimension is international support. I think this is not only about, again, it's not only about Taiwan, it's also about the regional countries, Japan, Korea, Philippines, Indonesia, and even as far as Singapore.
So
But
everybody
also
has a
global.
stake.
Yeah.
Everybody has a stake
Yeah.
in it. General Lee, let's move back to Han Kuang. So this year the announcement was that it would go to 24/7. There would be decentralized control because essentially central control was wiped out, and also that there would be, that it would mimic actual combat situations. What is your thought about these improvements?
So the Chief of General Staff announced this year the exercise is quite different than before. So especially is the decentralized you mentioned. Decentralized is training the independent commander how to handle this scenario. And another one we believe is the role of the engagement. For all the soldier, all the officer and the commander understand ROE, how to do that. Now another one
So what is role of engagement?
So during the wartime, how to do that is role of the engagement. When you to engage the fight, how you can engage the fight.
So when to use force?
Yes, how to use the force. Due to now PRC, PLA is around Taiwan. This is we call the gray zone. How to gray zone transit to the war. So the commander did not have time. They should immediately change. So response emergency is training the commander. This is very, very important. Another one we call maybe is a total defense of the society. Another one is, I believe, is no script. Due to no script exercise. So just like how we can fast the PLA, their activity and behavior, we respond. But actually, they have the certain exercise still maintained, just like low-level helicopter navigation, how to detect it. This is we continue to train our the C2 and our radar scan. Due to Taiwan is a lot of the radar and the sensor to detect the enemy, the intrusion to Taiwan. Another one, sir, I believe, is the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Infrastructure, how to protect our infrastructure is very important.
We're incorporating our Han Kuang exercise. I think this is very important. I think it's national defense and civil defense, and how to communicate between these two, how to synchronize the action between the national defense and the civil defense. I think that is critical for any future possible contingency.
I wanted to go back a little bit to General Lee's role of engagement. So when do soldiers actually know to use force? So this might be simplistic, but last year, the previous defense minister, Cho Guo-zhang, he said that Taiwan will strike back if China attacks our territory. So is that not very clear?
I mean, the rule of engagement is about how, in any possible scenario, and who will make the decision, who will call the shot. And from the previous centralized, highly centralized one, that we have to sort of decentralize the command and control. That means that we made it very clear for anyone who dare to intrude into our territory, no matter over the sea, in the air, that we will fight back. And that is now what we call the rule of engagement.
I would like to mention about one is the unscripted exercise.
Right.
This time is quite different than before.
So this is the actual combat
This is combat, actual
situation.
control. This is practical exercise and combat. Practical. Due to, if you have the conscript, you will understand this step, another step. But this is practical, is the really war, you know. So the soldier and officer and commander face the really war to response, emergency. This is really training.
And so how do they create that? Real war.
I believe this is kind of the new minister, their new concept. Due to POA, PRC is continued to threat Taiwan and provocative. We should learn how to protect my country. This is very important for all the Taiwanese.
Professor Chen, one of your reports, 2022, indicated that Taiwan needs a counter-strike capability, and for that we would need a lot of ammunition. Of course, in the Ukraine war, we know how serious an issue a lack of munitions is. So what is the current state of Taiwan's counter-strike?
We are very proactively acting on that. We are stockpiling the ammunition, and we learned from the war in Ukraine that ammunition is one determining factor in sustain the resistance. So we learn from them, and not only about platform, but also about ammunition. I think that our military have prepared. So we need a lot of ammunition, and we have to allocate in whichever location, and we judge by the possible path of their attack, and then we prepare for that. And don't forget about mobility is the key to winning a war. So by mobility, that means you have to pre-position your ammunition in the place where we might engage the enemy. So I think this is a new idea. We have to prepare for that. So we have to increase our stockpile ammunition, any kind of ammunition, no matter it's missile. It's not centralized in one warehouse, but we have distribute into different areas.
And where are the sources of those, either missiles or?
Well, missile, we have some the indigenously made missile, the Xiongfeng and the Tiangong, Tianjian. And also we have a harpoon provided by the United States, and I think they are the key. But also the more conventional, the 155 centimeter, that kind of ammunition. I think that we will distribute them in different areas.
Okay, generally.
I would like to mention about the harpoon. Taiwan is quite unique. Taiwan have the 4 kinds of the harpoon, and ground to ground, and sea ground, submarine to the ground, to the air, and air to ground, air to air. So 4 kinds of the harpoon. Another one is just like the CEO mentioned about 155, the calibrate the share. So in Taiwan, we have a lot. So we just like this time, we calculate how to relocate to the position. This is we have allowed the mountain. Mountain is a very good defense. Taiwan, the mountain is the 3,000 meter high mountain, almost 200 more. So this is a very important defense.
So we have to put them, pre-position those 155 in different areas, share in different areas. So once our force reach, and they are judged by the situation, if you want to hide in the shallow mountain, then they have ammunition there ready for them. I think that is the key. You don't have to, in the defense scenario, you don't have to rely upon a centralized logistics system.
Yeah, correct.
And how many months' supply do you think Taiwan has at the moment?
I think that is a secret. I think we have enough.
This is a military secret.
We have to enough stockpile to sustain a major fight in this area. But also not forget that stockpiling and distribution is one thing, because Taiwan is unlike Ukraine situation. It's a landlocked country, Ukraine, so you can resupply over land. But in Taiwan, if there is a contingency, that would be very difficult for our ally to resupply Taiwan with ammunition. So we have to prepare for ourselves. So I think both sides, Taiwan, US, and our other ally understand this fully. So they are willing to help us with increase our stockpile.
What's the progress on that US, the idea for the US stockpile to be stationed actually on Taiwan itself?
We cannot talk too much about that.
This is the location.
But
and,
according to some news coverage, they have a prepared stockpile in Japan, in the southwest islands.
We call this is collected together, security. Due to the first island chain, we are together.
What year do you think that China would be ready to invade Taiwan? Generally, first.
We cannot expect what time they will invade. We will well understand tomorrow we will prepare, today we will prepare, every day we will prepare. Give the message to them, we have to prepare.
No, I mean attitude-wise, I think it was yesterday. We have to think they are ready to launch an attack yesterday. In our mentality. But in the military-wise, I think Xi Jinping wants his military to be ready by 2027, and we don't take it lightly. And this is why we try to booster our capability and prepare our people for any possible scenarios.
Chen Ming-chi and Lee Ting-sheng, thank you so much for joining Taiwan Talks today.